Hello guys, it's Peter from PS Sound, and in this short explanation video I'm going to walk around and show to you what we've done in this Nissan Cube. Many people message me and comment here and there that Pete, you always show these super high-end systems and they're all super expensive, but is there sound quality and a great system below that? And this is probably a good example. We have many daily systems. Yes, in this one probably it wasn't so plug and play like in a BMW M5 we shared a while ago or in some Mercedes cars, but this was still a very efficient project in terms of what time went into it and what results we got. So this was built for a young gentleman, to Kobe. He wanted a car that sounds great as well as he can have fun with. And I always say that if someone is in his early 20s, yes, some shops may tell them that, okay, you need this subwoofer because it's quality. Yeah, that's great, but people have to experience fun as well. They have to experience when it can go a bit loud too. And he was doing the shopping, and that's the other thing. Most shops wouldn't even deal with customers who buy the equipment somewhere else. But he wanted to save money on the equipment so he could save more money for the installation, because he understood that in order to get a great system, installation is way more important. So everything that we have in the car was second-hand, just like this JL prefab enclosure is the 12W3 dual ported, big port at the bottom, and we clamped it down. We created clamps. It's all bolted to the box and down to the floor. And yes, it's not a daily practical boot now, but hey, when you don't have kids, wife and family, then you have to have a bit of this. You can still put stuff on the top. And yes, if he wanted to, and if he had a bit more saving, then we could build a custom enclosure that would take up less space. But for the simplicity of just buying a prefab box and just throwing it in, this enclosure is a great performer. Yes, it doesn't play all the crazy sound quality, bass notes below 30 hertz. And it's not like IB performance, it's not. But what it does from 30 upwards, especially between 40 and 60, yeah, it gives you a lot of feel, a lot of bass. And it's fun. It's definitely fun. Yeah, I'm not going to listen to Diana Krall in the finest quality in this car. But to be fair, if you dial the sub down, then you can still enjoy the front end. This is definitely capable of listening to any jazz, blues or anything in the finest quality. But then, yeah, this sub is more about fun. And it works. We built a floor underneath it, and we have the amplifiers right below. And people could think that we don't have enough airspace, but they are Class D, plus the amp rack at the back is open towards the seats. Underneath the seats they have room to breathe. And in UK we don't have those crazy hot days anyway, except this week we were sweating a lot because we had proper 28, 30 degree. And that's not fun in the workshop when you have to do heavy work. But hey ho, I can't complain. We don't live probably in Nevada, places like that, or in Dubai. So that was great. We didn't have to build a box, we just had to throw it in. Yes, we soundproofed the whole back end. We sound deadened and put absorber on all the panels, like the tailgate was deadened and the plastic panel was completely covered with foam. All the plastic panels were covered with absorbers. So we had to minimize the rattles and the buzzes as much as possible, because this is a Japanese car and they are not rattle free. It's a funny little car, that's for sure. So we use the Helix V8. Yes, you have seen that amplifier in many of our projects. He bought that second hand as well, and it works great. It's the best value 8-channel amplifier with 10-channel DSP you can ever get on the market. If someone shows me anything better for the money, good luck, go for it. I'm definitely not going to use anything else within that price range. It does everything. Freeway front end, rear fill, and then 2 outputs for subwoofer, and then you can pick and choose your monoblock and your subwoofer, whatever you want. It will perform well. That's like the go-to package for daily systems these days. Unless you want more, but then, more amplifiers, standalone DSP, more wiring, more space, more labor, more installation. Prices are going up, and how much do you gain, really? So you have to weigh up what you want to do in your own project. But the V8 does everything for us. So we fitted the Focal KRX3 up front, mid and tweeter on the pillars in our usual way. We speaker cloth them to make it a bit more pleasant for the eyes, because the yellow cones are not really our favorite or the customer's favorite. I don't think anyone's favorite. And the new K2M came out with yellow cones again. What can we do about it? Yeah, we cover it. Then it's neat. And we didn't fit the mid base in the doors because the doors were absolutely horrid. Like, many people know that I hate doors. These doors are special. One of the worst. Yes, we deadened it still, because even with the sub at the back, we could have a lot of rattle. So it was deadened outside, inside, the whole door card, everything, and now the car is holding really well. But we installed the mid base, just like in few other cars, underneath the seats, because these cars have a lot of space underneath the seats. And we built quite big. I think after the angle, we had to cut the front baffle on an angle. I think we have around 13 litre each side sealed enclosures for the Focal KRX3 mid-base drivers. And yeah, no buzzes, no rattles, nice and clean punch. And then people think that, oh, how can it work? But that driver only plays below 200 hertz. And from that point on, the 3-inch drivers on the pillars are confident to take over and play. And then once these are tuned, you actually hear everything from the top of the dash. That's the crazy thing. And you don't feel anything on your arm. Like when you have a mid-base in the door, you don't feel the vibration on the door. So that gives even less cue. The seats don't really transfer much of the kick base, so they disappear really nicely. This is definitely the best solution when you have flimsy doors and you contain rattles and you have space underneath the seats, and then it just works. It works great, and you have more controlled, tighter base than you could ever have with any door. And it took way quicker to install as well. The owner also supplied a head unit, a cam with doubled-in head unit, whatever it is, so he can have CarPlay, plus he can make the dashboard looking a bit more modern. It definitely helps to bring things up. Plus he got this light fitted in the car, which is fully controllable, RGB, extra lights, ambient lights, and it really brings the car up, and it's quite fun. It's quite fun for sure. At the back we have the Focal, whatever, KX range coax. It's alright for rear field duty. We have different presets. You will see in the other video where we have a bit of demo and sitting in the car with the owner, showing his reactions as well. They work fine. Especially if you want to have a fun system, and especially you're young, you want to show off to your friends as well. You know, look, I'll pull up to your car park, let's have a bit of rave, a bit of party. Then this works so great now. You open the rear doors and they are way louder outside than inside, because they are not quite in an optimal location down that low, because the rear seats are quite high as well and they play almost onto the rear seats. But when you open them with this sub, yeah, it's definitely fun. We have way more output with the sub, even outside, if we shut the rear tailgate, because this boot is so open and so tiny that it really pressurizes the cabin really well. I haven't clamped the system with an SPL meter, but I think on certain frequencies we can easily reach 140 with this layout with the Helix M1X. Perfect match for these subs. It gives us 1 kilowatt, and the only battery, the factory battery in the car, is still coping with it, especially when the engine is on. The alternator is charging, it's fine. If people want mega crazy bass and without the engine running, then yes, second battery would be useful for sure for this level of bass. But other than that, you know, it's nice and simple, and it's not one of those crazy budget, high budget builds like I shared the BMW 6 GT the other day, and then people were looking at the gear and the installation, and then yes, that's a big price tag system. And you can still have great fun with simply a solution like this. Although yes, you have to find a good shop where they can install well. They can make sure that the speaker installation has right aiming, it's rigid, nothing buzzes. And then once all that is done, then they can also tune. Because that's where most shops have issues with. Until customers don't know what's possible and they don't have a high reference level, then they may be just fine. And Kobe had to admit as well that probably I would have been happy even with another shop fitting a system for me, but now he heard the difference, what this system is delivering and what our other cars we've built can do. He definitely knows that, yeah, he has no regrets coming here, right? You didn't have to regret coming here now. Huh? I'm talking to you. He just came back to the shop.
What's up?
No, I'm just saying that you admitted that probably you would have been happy even with another shop installing this gear, even if.
Oh yeah, let me chime in. Are you doing a video?
Yeah, this is the walk around explain video.
Oh yeah. So that's the
Yeah.
thing. Like, I don't know how to obviously articulate it. My word doesn't really mean much, but I think if you
Your,
watch,
your word means the most because it's your system.
yeah. But I think if you're like me and you're doing a lot of research online and you've never heard any systems before, then I think if you watch a lot of videos from like any other YouTuber or anything else, you think, oh yeah, this is amazing. But then when you listen to like watch Peter's videos, they're literally in a different league. And then when you hear some of the systems that they've made, like Peter's built, it's just unreal. Like the quality and the knowledge that the guy has is phenomenal. Like other shops do not have this. They will talk a good game, but they can't show results. Like they can't
Yeah.
show you, demoing cars of clarity, and they don't showcase their work. The thing about Peter is he shows his work. He posts
Yeah.
it. He's transparent. You can see where the money goes. You can see where the knowledge is coming from, and I
Yeah,
just
and
don't.
people see, the build pictures in our videos as well. We show every single step. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hyped or, there's no marketing. I always say that I have the no bullshit attitude. Just show
Yeah,
people
100%.
decent, proper hard work, and then the result is gonna come. Especially once you know how to set up and tune a system well. It's not magic.
And the thing is, like, I'm sure a lot of you probably have like a better financial position than I do, and you can afford to spend more and more on gear. But honestly, as Peter always says, the installation is key. Like, he's able to achieve with DSPs and his knowledge of where to install things in certain cars,
Yeah.
how to tune it. It doesn't matter. There's no point throwing thousands and thousands at speakers when you don't know the application. And Peter knows the application. I can tell you from sitting in this system, which is probably a lot cheaper than some other systems,
Yeah.
and the sound is phenomenal. You do not need more than this. Like, you will be, if you heard my car, you would be impressed.
Yeah, when we were mentioning that, some people taught you that, oh, the V8 is not going to be good enough. It's not powerful enough. It's not enough for these speakers. People just look at specs and numbers, and they don't understand the full picture.
Yeah,
Um,
it is insane. Like, really, I think if I'm so blessed to have actually like found you off the bat, because there's so many people
Yeah.
that don't have the privilege of finding you until it's too late. This
Yep.
is
Yeah.
you have done all the work. You're not having to redo someone else's mess. And from what I've heard when speaking to other shops and getting quotes from them, it would have been money down the drain, because you would have then realized that the system doesn't sound that much better than it did from factory, and it would have just been something you'd have to like go. You would have thought, oh, I need to spend more money on gear, and you would have sought for
They
more.
would definitely talk you into buying more expensive gear. Because let's say if this is your budget, you can only afford, let's say, Audis and Voce freeway, right? Whatever it costs, I don't know, because we don't fit it, we don't sell it. Let's say £600-700 for the freeway. And if that's not good enough, after the car leaves the shop, then they can talk you into, oh, okay, you can buy Hertz, Miller. That's a bit more money. It's going to perform better. Or if that's not enough, oh, buy Audis and Tazes, which is many thousands. And that's the way most shops operate, unfortunately. And that's just fine. Everyone has to pay bills and make money and make a living. I get it. But even cheaper systems can deliver. And of course, when people use better equipment, that can play even better. You heard Eddie's car, you heard my car, you heard quite a few cars when you dropped this one off. Did you hear the 6GT?
Yes.
Oh yeah, just
Your
before,
movie
yeah,
tokens.
because you swapped when, yeah, he was coming to pick that one up.
Yeah.
And it sounded great, but it's not like, it sounded 3 times better than what you have, or yours is now so much worse.
Oh yeah, no, I think I wanted to get to the level where I was kind of hit the kind of, I guess, intermediate level of diminishing returns. So like, I feel like to get a better experience than what I have in this car, it's gonna cost 3 times the price, and realistically, I don't have that kind of budget.
Yeah, you don't need that.
So I just think that, and I am absolutely blown away, because when you do, I guess you kind of do things on a budget, or you don't have like a huge budget to spend on like tons of equipment and stuff, you do get quite nervous. You're like, is it actually gonna be good? And like, I can say this has honestly blown away my expectations. Like everything is everything I wanted and more. And you wouldn't need more than this unless, you know, you want to do crazy SPL.
Well, quality is a bit like wine drinking. I always say that there are different levels. Some people can enjoy a 5-10 pound bottle of wine, and they don't see why they would have to spend 20-30 pounds on a more expensive wine, and they can enjoy both, you know. But if they can enjoy the cheaper one, why would they buy a 20-30 pound bottle of wine? But there's, you know, a layer of population where people have different experience and different taste, and they are after finer quality. And then some of those people spend 50 or 100 pound on a bottle of wine. They may only drink one of those occasionally once a month or every, you know, half a year, but they can, you know, they can make the difference. And then it's the same with expensive speakers as well. You don't necessarily need expensive speakers to have fun and have quality. To be fair, we could have had the flex speakers, which are even cheaper range than the KRX3. And even that would have been great. We have a project that's coming in actually next week, and he has the flex, and the car sounds awesome.
Yeah, I just think, I really think, like, you hear it in all your videos, but it's all about installation and application, realistically, because if you spend thousands and thousands more on speakers, you're not going to get a better result if it's been installed badly. And like, I can tell you from seeing all the photos and build process, I'm sure you guys will see it soon as well.
I will put those at the end of this video.
Yeah, so everything you do is
everything.
The attention to detail is just so meticulous and thorough. Like, you don't, even if there's a budget in place, you don't try to get more quantity. You go for quality for everything, even down to the bolts, the nuts, the mounting.
Like back in the day, it took me between 30, 35, sometimes 40 hours to build a pair of pillars like these, fully trimmed. Back in the day, like 5 years ago. Now we build these around 16-20 hours, all in all, between two people. Day and a half, let's say, because we designed and 3D printed the mounting for the speakers. That's how we can maintain really thin bezels at the mounting. You know, this is nice and thin. It's not big chunky piece that many people build. Also, we could design the speaker grill with the cloth that it becomes nice and flush. If I can show it, it's flush with the surface. And also we have a small little round over the edge here. We have a small round over the grill, making these shapes that have to flow, you know, with the whole pillar. That needs attention. And some people can't explain why a certain pair of A-pillars look better than another. They can't explain it, but they look at it and they can tell that, this looks great.
Yeah, the actual speaker pillars look insane. Like, I don't really know how to describe it, but everything is just so smooth and like ergonomic. Almost looks so ergonomic to the car. It looks factory. Like it doesn't look, you know, like an installer. It doesn't even look like an aftermarket.
Sometimes we have to be lucky with it as well, because in some cars you have better opportunities, because sometimes you don't know what's behind the pillar, whether you have airbag brackets, anything like that. We had bits and bobs, but I could tweak around it, because you know where we put that now, that little snowman, let's call it snowman for the mid and tweet. If it was way lower, then the proportions would be different on the pillar as well. If we put it too high, again, it's out of proportion. So sometimes things just look right because it's proportional.
It definitely is.
This just ended up nicely, plus your pillar has depth at the bottom, which helped too. This alignment probably wouldn't look right in a car where you have really thin, skinny pillars. They would build out way more. Yes, this blocks a bit of view, and for competition this would fail at the 4 centimeter rule, which they measure from the black dots. They pull a line 40 mil out, and then this would be probably off with that much. Now I'm showing it on the video with my finger. This would be sticking out a bit more, but when you drive,
you don't notice it from the driver's seat.
You know, this is not blocking anything. To be fair, your car, when they put it down, you see over it so easily. That was so strange to me when I drove it out of the workshop and back. But yeah, this is not intrusive at all. And we have a good, sort of compromise between aesthetics, performance, and also for, the enjoyment of your passenger. Because yes, there are cars, and I've built cars where the speakers were really, really driver focused, and passenger was highly, left out of the game.
neglected. Yeah,
And you don't know what it sounds like on passenger side yet, but I was demoing it there, and you still have great spectral balance. Of course, you don't get the staging, you don't get the holographic center image over there, but spectrally you have great balance between high frequencies, upper mid, lower mid, and sub bass. There's nothing missing from the spectrum. It's just that, yeah, you don't have holographic staging. But most of your passengers probably won't even have a clue about it.
yeah, exactly.
But if you want to impress someone, then you will have to explain to them that, hey, this system was tuned for, to get the full experience and get the hotspot, you have to sit behind the steering wheel. And that's when they will really understand the difference. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. The thing is, with you can't have it all. You can't have passengers have the same exact experience as the driver. It's just not possible. So it's just one of those things you have to realize. And like, the people in your passenger seat aren't going to appreciate the things that you appreciate if you're an actual audiophile. Like you're going to listen to music in a different
Unless your
way.
passenger is an audiophile.
Yeah, that's true. That is very true, to be fair.
Exactly. And also who knows what can be done in a car, who has reference levels.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, I'm going to leave it here. It was a good little chat as well. People will have a chance to see our demo, which was shot before this, so you understand. But I don't know when I'm going to share which one, in what order. I will try to share both of these videos at the same time, to be fair, upload them and then share them at the same time. So you will see our little fun when we were playing music and talking about stuff.
Yeah, of course, man. It's always good.
But yeah, it's been a nice little project. There was a point when I didn't even remember what car you had. I just remember that you have some fun little car. And I talked to the guys, I think it's a Nissan Cube. Well, we talked about so many things. I'm like, yeah, we will see.
Yeah.
We definitely haven't built any of these till this stage. But it worked out great.
It did.
I'm happy with it too.
I'm over the moon, mate. Honestly.
We could easily sort of push this car towards really refined, competition expectations as well, with a nice little accurate subwoofer. That's what it would take, really, because your box is nice, accurate, but it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. And
It's a lot of fun.
I do want fun. Like, I mean, I do.
Yeah.
I do appreciate listening to music, but
That's what I explained at the beginning of the video, that you are at the age where you have to have fun. You have to
Yeah.
experience this just the same way you have to get cheap wine, get drunk, right?
exactly.
That's the now the loop back to my nice explanation regarding wines. You have to have it.
Yeah.
You have to have nice big chunky cheap steak as well, until you can appreciate a filet mignon.
Exactly. I feel like it's good. It's good to get out your system as well. If you're in the position where you can do it, then I think you should definitely do it. Scratch the itch.
Yeah. Give up smoking. Save money for audio. That's
Exactly. I don't swear. I'm teetotal, so I haven't
Good.
reason. All my money goes
Good.
to this.
it. You're good. All right, cool. We're gonna leave it here, guys. In the description, you will find links to Patreon channel, where you have a lot to see and learn. You can see the daily updates of this project as well. Plus, we will have an RTA evaluation of this car. Although I'm a bit slow with that on Patreon these days, because I have so many things to deal with. But usually I catch up when I find time. And you will see the RTA evaluation of this car as well, which will explain how all this came together, how it got tuned.
Yeah.
You will see, and everyone can see that too. If they are interested and if they want to learn, you can check out the links at the end of the video, where you will have more explanation videos and a lot of stuff on YouTube and on Patreon. Yeah, a lot to learn from PS Sound.
100%.
And then hopefully we may see you on some of the meetings in the future, because you don't live that far.
Hopefully, yeah.
Maybe next Saturday might be a bit too close and short notice, but we have a meeting next Saturday.
Yeah, I saw that, Brighton. Yeah.
Yeah, although I don't know when I share this video, so that next Saturday might be last Saturday.
Oh, you
I
got
don't know.
Yeah.
If I share this early next week, then it might be relevant. But yeah, we tend to organize meetings, or we have competitions during the season where people can listen to cars, and then they get an idea about all this madness.
Yeah, honestly, you need to, if you're seriously hesitant about it, like investing in car audio or going somewhere, come and just listen to some of
Yeah, pop
the
down.
builds.
That's what I always say to people, if they're
insane.
serious, pop down. I'll put you in our cars. Doesn't take up my time. Spend a bit of time with you. I'll leave you in our cars. You can listen to anything you like if you book it in, and then yeah, you get an idea about what we do and what can be done if you live in UK. Or
Yes.
well, no, we have customers from abroad as well. Just a bit more difficult for them to pop over for a bit of a listen.
Exactly, yeah. It's all about
but-
budget and logistics. If you're able to do it, do it. If you can't,
Yeah.
it is what it is.
Yeah, cars shipped from overseas are welcome as well. We have no issue with that. Yeah, we can do that. All right, I'm going to cut it here. Guys, hope you liked it. Feel free to share it, comment, all the usual things. And then we will see you in the next one. Take care.